Something just happened for only the third time in the last 20 years. The NHL schedule makers were feeling devious as they gave the Sharks 4 consecutive pairs of back-to-back games, with no single game in between. In other words, for 8 consecutive games, they had to play all of their even games the day after playing their odd games. This is another one of those obscure stats that got me curious and had me heading over to the NHL game database. And I was not only surprised to see how many times this has happened, but also how cruel the NHL schedule makers used to be. Because there are 4 instances where teams had to play a whopping 7 consecutive pairs of back-to-back games. Here are the 4 teams that had to go through this, but there were 2 teams that had an extra cruel schedule. Not only did the 61-62 Rangers have to play 7 consecutive pairs of back-to-back games, but they also started the season on a separate streak of 4 pairs of back-to-back games. But I think the worst one was the 70-71 Minnesota North Stars. The schedule makers made them play on Christmas, and then they couldn't even get their Boxing Day sales after. Now, it's not surprising that these redonkulous schedules went away as the NHL evolved, but what the Sharks just went through is only the 3rd time in the salary cap era where a team had to play 4 consecutive pairs of back-to-back games. The other 2 instances were the 10-11 Hurricanes and the 16-17 Rangers. While it's not the end of the world, having a ton of back-to-backs can negatively impact teams. As since 2013, when the schedule became more similar to what it is today, in instances where teams are playing their 2nd game in a row and their opponent has 1 or more days of rest, the team playing on the back-to-back loses close to 60% of the time. As you can see by the orange line on the graph, it's only when the opponent has 4 or more days off when rust actually becomes worse than having no rest at all.